Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop channel, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Way of Wade Shadow 4. So this shoe is going for 120 bucks, so not too bad on price. And if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And in this colorway, we have a solid white rubber outsole with kind of like a snake design. You guys remember the original game of Snake, or am I just really old? You know how it like kind of curves, right? And also here in the middle of the outsole, we have a plastic Memphis shank plate and also two holes exposing the midsole, right? So as far as the traction goes, it's freaking amazing, guys. Whatever rubber compound they're using in this shoe, they need to keep using it because this has an amazing bite, right? So if you're playing on a clean court, you're gonna be good to go. It has an amazing bite. You pretty much stop on a dime, and I had zero issues with it playing on a clean court. I absolutely love the stopping power of this outsole, and also you don't really have to break it in. You know, it's pretty much good right out the box. And also it has a very loud and high-pitched squeak, which I like. Of course, that has nothing to do with performance, but I just like to have a nice squeak, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of you guys do as well. And also, as far as dust performance goes, it's actually pretty good too. So it does pick up a little bit of dust, and it is affected by dust a good amount, which sucks, but it is a very easy wipe, right? So it picks up dust pretty quickly after like every 2 to 3 plays. And then if you let all that dust build up, then you do slide around, not dangerously, but just doesn't have a great bite, right? But it is a very easy wipe. You just go 1 to 2 easy and slight wipes, and you're good to go, and you have really good stops again. So if you keep up with your wipes, and you're gonna be good to go. You're not gonna have any issues with it. But if you forget to wipe, just be careful about that. And obviously, if you don't like wiping, then this shoe probably isn't the best option for you. But I didn't really mind it all too much. And as far as outdoor use goes, you should be fine. The grooves are actually very deep, and also you have a lot of surface area. Look at how much rubber there is, right? And also the rubber is pretty damn hard, so I feel like durability, you should be fine on the outdoor court. So overall, traction is very good. I would actually say it's almost top tier. So yeah, I had a really good time playing in this shoe because of the really good traction. Also, another added bonus is the outsole curvature. So of course, it's not as pronounced as Kyrie's or even like the MB1 or 2, but you still have a nice rounded shape, and the rubber outsole does come up to extend here into the medial side of the shoe. So you have better grip when you're doing these types of movements, which feels very, very nice. So that's a nice little added bonus, which I liked. And moving on to the heel to toe transition, it's also very smooth in the shoe, right? So here in the heel, we have a nice rounded shape. The foam is a little exposed, right? It's mostly caged, so it's like halfway caged by this rubber outsole, but it's not super clunky or anything. There's actually a little bit of compression here in the heel, and then here in the forefoot we have a nice rounded shape. Look at that. So you have a really nice rocking motion from heel to toe, and a good amount of forefoot flex, right? And it's not super flexible. You actually have a little bit of rebound back. So overall, heel to toe transition when you're doing heel dominant strides down the court is actually very, very nice. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, I actually enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's as nice as the other cushioning setups that Way of Wade has to offer, but it's still pretty damn nice, especially for the price, right? So we have full length cloud foam. And as you guys can see, it's just this black foam, right? And it's very caged. The rubber outsole comes to cage it, and we have also this plastic rectangle thing here on the lateral and medial side of the shoe. So that definitely does suck a little bit, you know, because it is super caged. However, they are giving us the nice strobel board, right? So the insole, not that nice. You know, it's actually like a stiffer type of like plastic, it feels like. Not plastic, like, it doesn't feel foamy though. But it's like, there's not a whole lot of compression from it. It doesn't improve step and comfort that much. And I wish they would have used like a softer or thinner insole, just because the strobel board is very nice, you know? So we have a mesh strobel board. And here in the heel, you have great compression, and you can feel the cloud foam when you're trying to like press it with your finger, right? And then in the forefoot, we do have a boom pod, which feels nice as well. However, you can't really feel the strobel board or like that nice foam right underneath your foot because of the insole. You know, the insole, like I said, is on the stiffer side of things, which sucks. It's not terrible, however, you know, step and comfort is actually still pretty good, especially comparing to some other shoes, but it's not as nice as, you know, like the WOW 10 or like the 808 when like your foot is right on top of that foam, right? So it's still nice for step and comfort and underfoot cushioning. Here in the heel, like I said, it is pretty caged because of the rubber outsole, but you still have a little bit of compression, which feels nice. And also, you have great court feel. right? You know, you're really low to the ground. Impact protection is adequate. It's a very responsive cushioning setup as well. There's not too much compression. It's not too soft or anything. And it's still overall pretty comfortable. So overall, it's a really nice cushioning setup if you want like a really responsive cushioning setup with good core feel, but with adequate impact protection and pretty good step and comfort and underfoot cushioning. So I feel like it's a cushioning setup that does most things like pretty well, right? Now moving on to the material. So the material is definitely on the cheaper side of things because, I mean, it is a cheaper shoe that Way of Wade has to offer, right? So here in the forefoot, we have like fuse surrounding the toe box. And then in the middle of that, we have like a mesh material. And honestly, I mean, as far as quality goes, it's definitely not great, but it's super thin. Look at that. Very, very thin. Even though, like, you know, fused, you have to glue it on the mesh, it doesn't feel that glued down or that flimsy, right? It's actually honestly like very soft, conforms to your foot extremely well. It's super thin and also super supportive. It doesn't stretch at all. So overall, this material composition is very nice, although not the best for quality, right? And then here in the midfoot, look at it. You know, super duper thin. And then for the tongue, we actually have like a little bit less than average for padding, I would actually say. And then we also have a half booty construction tongue. So you have a better overall one-to-one fit, and it keeps the tongue in place while you're playing. And then here in the ankle area, we actually have like pretty minimal padding, you know, like I would say less than average. So overall, this upper feels super minimal on foot, but also very comfortable, not in like the cozy way, but in like the way of like it conforms to your foot very well. It's supportive and all that. So on foot, it got the job done, and honestly, I really like it because of that. We do have like pretty cheap materials here in the back. Like, I don't know what this is. You know what I mean? It looks like carbon fiber, but it's actually not. All right, moving on to the fit. I went up half a size, and overall it fits me pretty well. So lengthwise, it's a little long, but I feel like if I went down half a size, it might be even a little too short. But if you want like a really snug fit lengthwise, then you should be okay going true to size. But if you go up half a size and you want to be a little bit safer, then that's probably the safer bet, right? Also widthwise, it is like around normal to slightly narrow. I can definitely feel this part, you know, not squeezing that hard, but I can feel it touching the side of my foot a little bit. And also here in the toe box, it is a little bit roomy. You guys can see how like it kind of scrunches up, especially when you tighten the first two eyelets, right? So overall, the fit was pretty good for me. Not terrible because, you know, it wasn't super roomy, but also I didn't love the fit because, you know, in my personal opinion, I like to have a very, very snug fit here in the toe box. If you want like a normal fit, you know, not too snug and not too loose, then this is a great option. Now moving on to the support and lockdown, I had zero issues, right? So as far as lateral containment goes, I mean, you have a lot of lateral counters. And as far as the material goes, it's supportive, like I said, although it does roll over on itself a little bit. Here in the forefoot, the foam does come up to act as a sidewall and as a lateral cage. So I was good to go here in the forefoot. Here in the midfoot, we have this plastic thing. I don't really like how it looks, but you know, it's functional, right? And then here in the heel, we have an internal TPU heel counter, it feels like. So lateral containment, I was good to go. And even if you're like a bigger dude doing lateral movements, I feel like you should be fine with the Shadow 4 for lateral movements. And then as far as lateral stability goes, I was pretty good as well. You know, we have a wide base and you're low to the ground, especially here in the forefoot. So lateral stability was great as well. And for ankle support, it's actually not bad. I wouldn't say it's amazing. You know, I could still move my ankle around a little bit. So I would say the ankle support is pretty good. So overall, support and lockdown was very good. And also I didn't really have any issues with a heel slippage or anything. Now moving on to the weight of the shoe. If I remember correctly, it's like around average, I think, like 12, 13 ounces, right? Yeah, 12.66 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 12.59 ounces. So that's basically average weight. And yeah, it's average weight. It doesn't feel bulky or anything like that. It actually feels pretty damn minimal because of the upper and how there's like no foam. And also you feel really, really quick, you know, because of the amazing traction, responsive cushion, and great lockdown and support. When I was playing it, I felt really quick, right? Even when I was doing crazy lateral movements, I did slip out just a tiny bit, you know, if there was a little too much dust buildup, but once I wiped, I still had a great time. So overall, I really liked playing in the shoe because of how responsive it felt, but also the cushion was still nice for like impact protection and comfort, right? Now moving on to the ventilation. Ventilation was very good. You know, this mesh material has a lot of airflow and it's super thin, so your feet are gonna stay cool in this. And also, as far as the aesthetics go, I like it kind of, but I feel like this ruins it. Right, the primary shapes, I don't know, with the triangle and the rectangle here. If that was something else, maybe like a rounded shape or something different, I feel like I would have liked it a lot more. overall, it's not bad, but it's definitely not my favorite. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yes, the Shadow 4 is an amazing shoe. It reminds me a lot of like Kyrie's because of the outsole curvature and great traction, but it's also like a lot more minimal because, you know, Kyrie's actually have like stiffer materials usually, and also it has better cushion than Kyrie's, right? So this is a banger, you know. Definitely don't sleep on this shoe. It's not the best looking shoe, but it's an amazing performer, especially for only 120 bucks. So I would 100% recommend it to you guys. If you're a guard, you're gonna enjoy the shoe. You're gonna feel very quick when you're playing it, and also even if you're a bigger dude, support's great, cushion is adequate, and traction is good. So I feel like most play styles and most positions will enjoy the Shadow 4, so it is definitely approved by Sammy. Is that a thing? Approved by Sammy? I don't know. But I definitely really enjoy playing this shoe. But anyways, that about concludes my review of the Wave Weight Shadow 4. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.